Alright, so here's our miniature completely painted. The only thing that we're going to be doing next is we're going to be making the base more interesting looking by putting on some dirt and some grass and painting some sort of color around the rim. And then that'll be it. We're going to start with this dirt that I found outside next to the street. It's literally between where my house line is and where the street is. All this small dirt kind of builds up on the side, and I think it looks really good on a miniature base. You can see that there are big rocks and small rocks, and it has varying degrees, but you just kind of shake it to the side and eventually you'll find the smaller stuff. And we're going to be using the same glue that we have been using since the start. I kind of messed up and ended up actually gluing and not recording this part. So basically this is just a arts and crafts version of like glitter type of thing, to where you put the glue on the base, you sprinkle all the dirt that you want on there over the glue, and you blow the excess off whenever it's dry. And that's pretty much it, just like I'm doing now. And now I'm wiping away the dirt with my fingers on the rim so that I can work on that a little bit later. And that's what the dirt looks like. You can use whatever you can find. Alright, here's what he ends up looking like. I got the dirt all sprinkled on, but I do like to add some grass textures to make it look more interesting, add a little bit more diversity, something else to look at. And there's a few different things that you can use for this. You could always put on like snow, you can put on rocks, like bigger rocks, you can add on bushes or anything of the sort, but for me, I just like to put on grass myself. One of the things that I end up using is this, which I bought at my local gaming store. And it's literally just a bunch of grass, like little bits of what look like grass. Some people like to individualize them and put them upright and everything, but I just kind of glue them on. There's also this that you can find at local gaming stores, but I actually found this in a train modeling shop, which is actually, if you have one of those in your area, or you go to Hobby Lobby or something like that, it's actually going to be cheaper than your gaming store. And this is like kind of like a fine grass. I found this also at the local hobby store, which is just like a little brush that you can glue on. It's a little bit difficult to do so, and I don't think it looks all that good. I can show you with this guy. I put on a little bush there, which it looks alright, but it doesn't look all that great. You can see an example of that first grass that I showed you right there on the right. There's the really fine grass in the middle there, and then there's this, which is kind of my favorite so far, and this is a big old bottle. It looks like this, and this will last me like pretty much my whole life, and it was $11, and this was at a train model store. So if you have one of those places around you, I would suggest really checking it out and seeing what all that they have, because it actually can be very useful. What I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with this kind of grass, just to get things going. It's literally the same thing as the dirt, except you just put a little dab of glue on it instead of trying to cover the whole ground, unless you want the entire ground to be grass, which is perfectly fine. I just like a little bit of variety. And that's going to end up looking pretty nice, but I'll blow off the excess just like we did with the sand, just another arts and crafts project type of thing. And I'm putting on more than I need because I can always blow off the excess, no problem. And that's already starting to look a lot more impressive by putting a little bit of variety on there. And now I have this little area back here where there's kind of a little gap at his foot. I'm going to try and cover that up with some grass. There we go. I think that that's going to look good enough, but we'll wait for that all to dry first, and then we'll blow away the excess. And that's what all the grass and the dirt looks like put together. I think it looks pretty good. So next what we're going to do is we're going to paint the around here, this base part, a different color. It can literally be any color you want it to be, whatever you think matches the character the most or what have you, but I like to think of it as like basically the underground of what they're standing on, which is a brown to me. I think the brown brings out all the colors really well. I think that I honestly should use a lighter brown color than the brown that I'm using, but it's the color I got and I don't have money to spend on a new brown color, and I could always mix the colors together, like a lighter brown with a darker brown, or a brown with even a white or something, but then all the bases are probably going to come out slightly different color. And for all the miniatures that I have, and I'd rather have the same color across the board, so whenever I get a new color I might paint them all a lighter brown so everything looks good, because I think a lighter brown would kind of make the miniature pop a little bit more. But I'm using the Rhinox hide brown. I'm going to use the medium size paintbrush. I'm literally just going to take the paintbrush and brush across the entire base. I'm going to do 2 coats of this though to really bring the brown color out, so it'll be a little bit less of a darker brown. Because of the fact that the primer is black, it's going to turn it a slightly darker brown color. Alright, here's the first layer. I'm going to do one more, as I said again, to really bring out that brown color, but I'm going to wait for it to dry first. Alright, so this is what it looks like with the second layer on there. Unfortunately, my camera messed up again, and I did not get video of me actually getting that second layer on there.